Welcome to Documentary Pulse. At the peak of the divine plan for humanity's redemption, the final minutes of Jesus' life on the cross were marked by intense physical and spiritual agony. Mount Calvary, also known as Golgotha, became the backdrop for the supreme expression of love and sacrifice. The journey towards Calvary began with Jesus carrying his own cross, symbolizing the weight of sins. The Via Crucis, also referred to as the Stations of the Cross, depicts the path Jesus traveled from the Praetorium to Calvary, a trail marked by suffering as the Son of God advanced facing mockery, insults, and physical exhaustion. The crown of thorns pressed upon his head symbolizes the rejection and disdain he was about to endure. Nailed to the cross, Jesus' agony reached a new level, with his wrists and feet pierced by nails, physical witnesses to the price he was willing to pay. The weight of his suspended body on the cross increased respiratory difficulty, turning each breath into a struggle amidst excruciating pain. Even in the midst of this suffering, Jesus uttered words of forgiveness. "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Luke chapter 23, verse 34. Around him, spectators witnessed the Messiah's final moments. Two criminals were crucified beside him, and one, touched by divine grace, recognized Jesus' innocence and asked him to be remembered when he entered his kingdom. Jesus responded with words of hope, "Truly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise." Luke chapter 23, verse 43. At the climax of the crucifixion, darkness descended upon the earth, a cosmic phenomenon echoing the intensity of the moment. This is our first noteworthy fact. The darkness that enveloped the earth after Jesus' death, as recorded in Matthew, is a phenomenon laden with hidden meanings, similar to the parables spoken by Jesus. This period of persistent darkness from noon to 3 p.m. cannot simply be attributed to natural causes like an eclipse. Instead, it is presented as a divine intervention, a cosmic sign accompanying the crucial moment of crucifixion. In antiquity, darkness was often associated with mourning and the death of notable figures. Prominent theologians interpret this darkness as a symbolic moment where God, by darkening the earth, expresses his grief over the death of his Son, indicating the temporary withdrawal of the divine light due to the significance of the sacrifice. This intense darkness during the day is undoubtedly a sign of divine judgment on Jesus' death, an idea reinforced and in line with Old Testament prophecies, such as Amos chapter 8, verse 9, which mentions that God would make the sun go down at noon. This prophetic realization highlights the validation of scriptures and divine sovereignty. It was during this darkness that Jesus cried out in a loud voice, "Oh my God, why have you forsaken me?" Matthew 27, verse 46. These words confirm the fulfillment of the scriptures and revealed the burden he carried in taking on the sins of the world. The culminating moment approached as Jesus proclaimed, "It is finished." John 19, verse 30. At that instant, he yielded his spirit, the earth trembled with an earthquake, rocks split, and tombs opened. Here occurs the second event of cosmically transcendent magnitude, impacting not only spiritually, but also in nature itself. As recorded in Matthew 27, verse 51, the earth trembled, and the rocks split at the moment of Jesus' death. This earthquake was not merely a geological phenomenon, it was a response from creation itself to the crucifixion of the Son of God. The rocks, symbols of the solidity and stability of the earth, shattered in the face of this divine event, bearing witness to the gravity of the sacrifice taking place. The described earthquake led to another majestic occurrence. It is crucial to note that the region of Palestine, due to its geological characteristics, is situated on an extensive seismic fault. The rock tremors and tectonic plate movements caused damage to tombs originally constructed in stone. As a result, the tombs were opened, and several bodies of saints, righteous individuals who had passed away, were resurrected. The saints who had departed emerged from the tombs after Jesus' resurrection and appeared to many people in the sacred city of Jerusalem. This resurrection of the saints is one of the most remarkable and singular of events were recorded in the crucifixion narrative. The earthquake, the opening of the tombs, and the resurrection of the saints are directly attributed to divine intervention. The resurrected saints became a visible representation of Jesus' victory over the dominion of death, foreshadowing what was to come for all who placed their faith in him. The term holy people likely refers to pious figures from the Old Testament, such as heroes and martyrs from the history of Israel, intentionally chosen to miraculously witness these events. Their notable appearance in the Holy City not only reinforces the significance of Jesus' sacrifice on the cross, but also effectively highlights his triumph over the power of death. This extraordinary event finds explanation in the teachings of Paul, as mentioned in Corinthians chapter 15, verses 20 to 23. Paul emphasizes Christ's resurrection as the firstfruits of the dead, indicating that just as Christ was resurrected, those who belong to him will also be resurrected, each in their order. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 27, verses 50 and 51, the narrative meticulously describes an impactful moment. A notable phrase stands out: Jesus, crying out again with a loud voice, yielded up his spirit. And behold, the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth shook and the rocks were split. It is relevant to emphasize this grand event. In the temples of that time, there was a veil that separated the sacred area of the temple from the most sacred part, known as the Holy of Holies. This veil was not just a physical curtain, it was a representation of the distance between God and humanity. Only the high priest was allowed to enter, and this happened only once a year, through the blood of animals offered for sins. The act of tearing the veil, as recorded in Matthew, goes beyond the physical event, entering the realm of symbolism and spirituality. The tearing of the veil symbolizes the removal of the barrier between God and people through the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross. Before this crucial moment, only the high priest could enter the Holy of Holies on the Day of Atonement. However, when the veil was torn from top to bottom, it indicated that the barrier between God and humanity was permanently removed. God's action of tearing the veil represents direct and unrestricted access to him through the sacrifice of Jesus. The book of Hebrews in chapter 10 verses 19 and 20 explains this meaning. Therefore, brothers, since we have confidence to enter the most holy place by the blood of Jesus, by a new and living way, opened for us through the curtain, that is his body. This passage in Hebrews invites us to have confidence to enter the holy place through the blood of Jesus by a new and living way that he opened for us through the veil, symbolizing his body. Thus, the revelation of the unveiling of the veil emerges as a symbolic and impactful representation of divine love and mercy. It indicates that the sacrifice of Jesus on the cross not only opened a way, but resonates as an invitation for everyone to approach him with confidence and boldness, eliminating the need for intermediaries or ceremonial rituals. Furthermore, a fifth aspect, worthy of highlight, is the figure of the centurion, whose crucial role during the crucifixion extended beyond mere execution of imperial orders. As a military leader responsible for hundreds of soldiers, the centurion ensured that the crucifixion proceeded smoothly, requiring courage and efficiency. However, during Jesus' crucifixion, he and his fellow soldiers witnessed extraordinary events, earthquakes, darkness, and other cosmic phenomena, leaving them astonished and full of admiration in this divine context. The centurion made the impactful statement, "Truly, this was the Son of God." Matthew 27, verse 54. This declaration was not made lightly. The centurion, accustomed to suffering, death, and executions, recognized in the witnessed events that Jesus was innocent and faced the crucifixion with dignity, responding to injustice with remarkable grace. The centurion's confession represents a vivid testimony of the profound impact that Jesus' death had even on the hardest hearts. He who had overseen countless executions acknowledged Jesus' uniqueness as the Son of God. This transformation of perspective reveals the power of the message of the cross, capable of touching hearts, transcending cultural and social barriers. The Roman centurion inadvertently became a significant character in the chain of witnesses, proclaiming the truth about Jesus as the awaited Messiah. I hope you enjoy the reflection provided in this video. If you've made it this far, A similar video suggestion will appear on your screen. Click to watch and delve even deeper into the biblical stories. Thank you for your attention, and may everyone remain under God's grace. See you soon.